Hello YouTube. In the next few videos I will show you the assembly of this Champion Blower and Forge number 200 post drill. I'll be showing you all 107 parts, where they go, what they do. At the end of the video I'll show it in operation along with a slideshow of the pictures before I restored it. On this side of the machine is the patent number and the patent date. Below it is number 200. On the other side of the machine it says Champion Blower and Forge Company. It's hidden behind all these parts. Lancaster, Pennsylvania, USA. Just walk around it a little so you can see it from all sides. Okay, I've got the stand laid down on its side. Over here I have a bench under it, so I have space underneath to reach under there with my socket wrench to bolt parts on. Couple things I want to show you before I get started. I have one of these clear plastic organizing boxes. And what I've done is put all my small parts in here, nuts, bolts, all the pocket-sized things. And one thing I've done, here's a ideal for you, is these two bolts, for example. There's a little note here that says, focus, that says crank handle set screws. And I've done this for all the nuts and bolts and everything in there. This way I would remember what goes where. Okay, I'm going to go grab the big main casting that everything bolts to, and I'm going to go ahead and bolt that on. This thing weighs 30 pounds, by the way. And it wants to slide on this nice clean polyurethane post. There, that'll stop it from sliding on me. Need a hammer, I'll be right back. The one tool I didn't get out is the one I need. Being careful while I'm swinging so I don't scratch up my paint job. And now for the other side. Just grabbing some more pieces. Let me turn the camera so you can see what I'm doing. This is the post that the table mounts on. Doesn't matter which way it goes, which is top or bottom, it's just a steel bar. And here is the bracket that holds the bottom of the post. Ah, crap. Might help if I put this on there, what do you think? I'll go ahead and pause the video and come back when I'm ready to put the table on. I'll take this thing back apart now. Okay, let's try this again. Before I can put the table on, I need to put this bolt in. This is a hole with a split in the side. So when you tighten this bolt, it closes up that gap, which tightens the table onto the post. Okay. And now I'll slide on the post. Hopefully. There it goes. And things are getting heavy. Put this end cap on. Where did I put my bolts? There they are. Okay, I'll go ahead and tighten the table like this so it doesn't dent my post, which I already did. Oh well. Okay, now for the set screws that go on the top and the bottom of this post. I gotta find them. Here's one. It's a square head bolt. Most all of them are. And here's the other one. Now this post, the set screws, the one on the top and the one on the bottom are different sizes. Really not sure why, but they are. Okay, now I'm going to tighten up the 6 bolts that hold this to the post. I'll do that off camera because really nothing to look at, it's just 6 nuts and some washers. And then the plan after that is I'm going to stand this thing upright, and then I'll bolt all the other pieces on. Ideal behind this is I don't have to lift the weight of the entire machine, I just have to lift this. So I'll be back. Okay, now I'm going to assemble the half nut, and I've moved to the workbench for this because it's a bunch of small pieces and just easier. Plan is I have a dirty hand for working with grease, clean hand if I need to go in my toolbox for something, because it is a wooden toolbox, I don't want fingerprints all over it. So this is the assembly that holds the half nut. And what the half nut does, it's basically a nut. Here's the 2 pieces, and when you turn some gears it either puts it together or opens it. And what this does is engages the auto feed. I'll show more of this later, it's hard to explain it right now. So I'm going to show you how this thing goes together. Where do I want to start? I guess I'll start right here. This is a brand new can of grease, I may as well use all of it. This is some that was stuck on the lid. Now, the reason I'm greasing this is because this is enclosed. I can't ever get to it without taking it apart. So I'll grease it and hopefully I don't have to take it apart all the time. Part I'm working on right now is a cam. You can see there's an offset hole there, and this mounts on a bolt that's attached to a gear. And this is what moves the half nuts in and out. And right there you can see there's a hole. There's a set screw that goes in there. Already getting stuff on my clean hand. So this goes in here, and there's pads, one there and one there that this rides on. The rest of it's just a rough casting. This is some kind of brass, I have no idea what. And it's also numbered 18, and the other one is numbered 18 as well. No idea what that means. So I'll turn this till right there you can see. Can you see? I don't know, I can't see my camera screen too well right now. But the hole for the set screw is right there. There's a little bitty set screw. Come on. Let's try the other one. There, that one likes it better. Now I'm not putting this in all the way. I'm just putting it in enough to hold that cam in place. And now this slides in the side here. I'm going to put grease on this, obviously. And then the lead screw or auto feed screw, depending on what you want to call it, goes through this hole in the middle. And it doesn't matter which side these go on. I've tried them both ways and they work both ways. I'm only going to show putting 1.5 nuts in because they're both exactly the same. Now I'll keep the video shorter, so hopefully it's not too long and boring. A little more grease. I want to lube this up good. So much for the clean hand, dirty hand ideal. Oh well, I have a rag just off camera. Now I'll grease up the threads. Which, by the way, for a 100-year-old half nut, this thing is in incredible condition. There we go. Good amount of grease on everything. Didn't get the ends. Let's get the ends, because everything but this side right here comes in contact with other parts. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get slimy and nasty doing this. Oh well. Part of it, I guess. Okay, now I'm gonna slide this in. Is it in camera? Yes it is, cool. There it goes. And here's the bolt I was talking about. And you can see there's a small gear at the end there. I'll show what that goes to later. It goes to basically a ring gear. And you turn it, and it turns the half nuts in or out. There's a little divot for the set screw. And the end of this bolt, two nuts go on here that lock against each other and just basically keeps this from falling out. Get a good amount of grease on this as well. Okay. Now the gear, there's two ends to this. One end is fatter. You can see there's a shoulder right there. The other end is thinner. The end that's fatter is where the gears go. And there's also a locator pin here too. I gotta push the half nut out to get that cam to line up. Reach down there for a screwdriver, push it in the right spot. It's just sitting in there loosely. Let's give it a try. There it goes. Move it around a bit, get all the lube spread out on everything. Then on this end is where the lock nuts go. Now I'm going to put just a little bit of oil on the threads. So well, in 20 years when I need to take this thing apart to rebuild it, hopefully nothing will be stuck so bad that I can't do that. Before I do that, I forgot something. I need to tighten my set screw. Just going to take it down till it's snug. I'm just gently snugging it on the shaft and rotating the shaft to get a feel. There it is. To maybe not. That would be a better idea. Let's pull this out. Move the divot to where it's facing up the same direction the set screw is. Don't turn it. Push it back in. There it goes. The set screw, it's hard to see on camera, I'm sure, but it goes about a 1/16 below the surface of this cam. That's how I'm verifying that's where it's supposed to be. I'm just giving everything a wiggle, make sure nothing's binding up, everything's happy. Very nice. Now I'm going to put on the two locking nuts or jamming nuts, depending what you want to call them. Doesn't appear to matter which way it goes on. Now on these, I'm not going to tighten them all the way up to this housing. And the reason why is because if I do that, it tightens the length for the whole bolt, which will bind the whole thing up. That's why there's two nuts that lock against each other. So leave it about a half turn loose so this can move. take the other nut and lock it in. There it goes. I'm just doing it finger tight for right now until I'm sure everything is where it's supposed to be. Then later on I'll get a wrench and snug it up. This doesn't have to be super tight. It's not a critical thing. If it comes loose, it comes loose. It just means the half nut won't work. This isn't going to fall out because it's held captive by that cam set screw. So if that comes loose, it's not a huge deal. It'll just be annoying. Okay, I'm going to stop the camera now. I'll do the other side, and then I'll come back for the next step.